when it comes to forming new music for you, you never have a set plan. It's very kind of sporadic, and it's an isolated process. But it's also motivational for you, isn't it? Do you find that's a key part of your crafting process?
Well, I just really enjoy the creative process. I think that's mostly it. I just really like, because I'm quite a dreamer. I can be quite locked up in my own head, just like spacing out. And I really like that aspect of writing. So just like locking myself in my room for like a week and with a guitar and like trying out different things, nerding on like lyrics and stuff. So I just really enjoy the process. So that's definitely it.
And in terms of subject matter, you've stated it's quite intuitive for you. It's memories and thoughts blended together. Does that approach serve you well? I mean, you don't really talk about a specific person. You just blend the two, the memories and thoughts. Is that a pleasing way for you to work?
It is at this point. Yeah, I mean, I always struggle. For me, like writing lyrics is definitely like one of the things I find the hardest, because I never really listen a lot to lyrics if I listen to music. Like, and also like, of course, not being a native English speaker, it's tougher, I think, to think about what you want to say and how to say it. And it's kind of like you want to say something meaningful, but you don't want to make like this kind of like self-help music or something. It doesn't have to be like too therapeutic or too heavy, and so it's always like a struggle to make it like either too direct or too indirect or too vague or too abstract or too like morally, I don't know. So it's one of the tougher things. Like writing the music comes very natural to me. Like I just like always sense where it is supposed to go, but the lyrics I have to like work a little harder on. So then my technique is just to like also try to let it go more natural and do more with like writing down a lot of words and approach it more intuitively.
A lot of the material for the record entitled Fading Lines was written after the unfortunate loss of your grandfather. I mean, you were wondering about existence and acceptance. I mean, it was quite sad, but also life-affirming for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It was quite, because he died like, but he was very content. It was kind of weird to see, because he was so at peace with it, He was just like totally at peace with it, and he died by euthanasia, so he chose the moment himself. He had it like exactly how he wanted, with all his children by his side and his grandchildren by his side. So it was kind of like perfect. I know that's kind of like weird to say about such a sad thing, but it was almost kind of like also really beautiful in a way. Also to see how he approached it, like very peaceful, and just like looking back on his life and really seeing like it was enough. I did everything I wanted to do. I was everything I wanted to be. I had kids. I had my job. I traveled a bit, and it wasn't even like a super spectacular life or anything. It was just like, he worked in a factory a long time. He was a farmer. It wasn't like he was a movie star or anything. It was just like a very regular life, but for him it was just enough, and he was very peaceful at the end. So I thought that was really beautiful to see, because like I feel like, at least me personally, but I feel a lot of people in this generation as well are like constantly like pushing ourselves to like experience this and this and this and travel the world and do as many things. And I know I have this urge a lot to like try and get 8 lives into like one. So it was interesting to see how that worked very differently for him.
And the title track, it was written shortly after this unfortunate event, and you're kind of searching about, and the weirdness of existence within this song. Is that part of the origins of this track?
Yeah, I mean, it's about like it's about like a lot of different things. It's definitely inspired by my grandfather passing away, but also like about a lot of stuff I read at the time about like I read this book by Jung called Synchronicity. It's about like it's not really scientific, but it's about kind of like trying to formulate an alternative to causality, and like the realization that time and space are relative, and like that memories can fade, and it's a lot of stuff I find really interesting to read about. So.
Tell me about the song Right Now. It's one of the many standout songs on the record. I mean, was it tricky to form aspects of this song, or was it something that was just an organic process for you?
I think musically it came very naturally. I think we had like in the studio like we spent like some part like kind of like debating like what vibe it should have, if it should be more like dreamy or abstract. But I think no, it came quite naturally, and like lyrically it's definitely one of the vaguer things on the record, I think, but I'd say it's about like again like this possibility of doing like so many different things in your life, and the realization that all of them can be, there's beauty and like worth to be found in like a lot of different things, like whatever you choose to do, and like you can always do something different, and that'll be good too.
And for yourself, the career path is you like making music, and for you, it has a more direct impact than other art forms. Why do you feel that is?
I don't know. I just, that's for me personally. Like, it's the only art form I feel like that doesn't have to be kind of like translated in my brain or something. I can just hear it, and immediately I'll get like a reaction, of like an emotional reaction to it. If I look at a painting, a lot of times I have to like look at it and like think about it, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, or like hear the story behind it, for example, like, oh, the painter meant to do this or to pick this or whatever, and then I'll think about it and I'll be like, then I'll feel something with it maybe. But in music, I never have to do this kind of like translation process or anything. It just like comes in your ears, and then it's like bam, and well, you like it or you don't, of course, but it's more direct, it seems. I don't know why that is.
I understand that in the future you want to get serious about your law degree one day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have a lot of friends that are lawyers, and you know they have clients in cases that really intrigue you. Is that field? What is it about this field that you really feel will allow you to excel?
Well, it has a lot. I guess like studying law it has a lot to do with linguistics, and I can be kind of like I like nerding out like in my room with music, but I also like really like nerding out with language a lot, and like the structures, and like how if you formulate like one little word in a slightly different way, it can change the meaning of it as well legally and stuff. And I don't know, it's kind of like a puzzle almost sometimes. And also, so I really like that aspect of it, but also like the aspect of like that it really allows you to help people. Like someone will come to you with a problem, and you will take the case, work on it, and you hopefully like be able to help them with it. So I feel like it's a good field to make positive contributions, hopefully, in people's lives.
And not only a lawyer degree, but you also in the future would like to have a farm in the middle of nowhere with chickens.
Yeah.
What prompted this direction?
I don't know. Like I've always like, from when I was a little kid, my parents always used to have like vegetable gardens where we used to go. And, like those are like my happiest memories of being a kid. It's just like being there with them and weeding a bit and like eating all the grapes, of course, in the garden. I don't know. It might be like an over-romanticized idea I have of it though. It's very well possible. But I'm trying to find out. Like I go woofing occasionally to like try out that lifestyle a bit. And so far I've really enjoyed it, like the peace and quiet. But I feel like it's something you need to do like later in life, probably when you have like traveled the world and like, done all the things you want to do, and then you can kind of like settle down and just enjoy the natural rhythm of life and the seasons. I sound like a total hippie now, I know.
That's something that intrigues you. Living off the grid is something that
kind of, yeah, as much as possible.
What were the highlights of your recent visit to the US?
Definitely, we had one day off in Asheville, and that's like situated like in this between the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Smoky Mountains, and we had the day off, and we booked through Airbnb kind of like this room in a house like in the middle of nowhere, and they had horses there as well, so we went horseback riding through the mountains there, and it was like the season was exactly right. All the trees were like intensely colored red and yellow. It was really beautiful. Actually, I'm not a big museum person, and like landmarks, like I don't really care to see the Big Ben, or it just feels like, oh, I'll go there, I'll take a picture, and I'll leave. It doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't mean so much to me. But I really like going like on nature a lot, and like going horseback riding and taking walks. So that was definitely my highlight of the tour.
As you head forward, what sort of exploration do you relish? I mean, what matters most as you head forward as a musician that's so gifted?
One day I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I really want to make this badass grunge garage record, and the next day I'll wake up and be like, no, I really want to make this really nerdy music, jazzy, weird pop record. And the next day I'll wake up and I'm like, oh no, I want to make this very poppy anthem record. And so I really, we'll see. Probably a mixture of all those.